How's it going, guys? And welcome back to BL3's Forgotten, the series where I take a look at underused and not often talked about pieces of gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game or should be left behind and forgotten. And today we are taking a look at the Leech. If you're to get the Leech for yourself, you get it from completing the 4th main story quest, Taking Flight. But if you've already completed this quest, which I'm sure you have, you can get more from the Crazy Earl Veteran Rewards vending machine on Sanctuary. The Leech is a unique purple-rarity Vladof pistol, having locked parts, meaning that the Leech is always non-elemental, with an incendiary damage taser, but unlike a lot of other quest rewards, the Leech can actually be anointed. Along with the taser being incendiary, it also has 70% lifesteal on it. Going into this one, I think I had my expectations a little bit too high. I've previously heard that the Leech has some fun to be had with it, so that maybe skewed my direction to being a little more positive than it should have been. Specifically, I'd heard that the taser was the part of the Leech that really had potential. Nah. So yeah, at least at endgame, the taser isn't that great. I did find that at least with Moze, I could have some fun with the taser on Athenas, but that was about it. The absolute lowest tiers of content are the only place that this taser really had any value, and while definitely a lot better than normal tasers, it really wasn't anything to write home about through a majority of the endgame content. But as for the actual gun itself, you might be surprised to hear that it wasn't at all any better. I mean, it's definitely a Vladof pistol, meaning that it has pretty trash damage, it chews through your ammo reserves incredibly quickly, and it also has absolutely atrocious accuracy and handling, to the point where even with mana focus active and fully stacked, I was dumping half of a magazine into the wall behind my target. But very similarly to the taser, it works wonders on Athenas. That is genuinely the only way that the taser feels good, is bringing it over to Athenas, the easiest mobbing section in the entire game. And even then, you're still gonna be suffering from that terrible accuracy and handling and running through magazines. The only difference is at least you're killing multiple enemies per magazine, sometimes. The Leech is a gun that has potential. It's a pretty cool mechanic with the incendiary taser that also lifesteals, and it is a lot of lifesteal at 70%, while the taser doesn't really do a lot of damage. Because of mayhem scaling, not scaling player health, but scaling damage of weapons, you are able to regenerate your entire health bar like in a single taser usage, but you only get 7 seconds of it, and then you need to wait for that taser to come back up to be able to do that again, so it's a very unreliable source of lifesteal. I think if the lifesteal was better, the Leech could actually be a very solid utility weapon and an option for builds that maybe can't afford to have other health regen and would rather use those points or those slots somewhere else. You could have a gun that takes care of that for you. No, not that one, not like that at all. My fix for the Leech would be to actually just leave it as is. It doesn't need to be a good gun, and either lower the damage of the taser or the lifesteal of the taser. Either way, it's the same effect of less healing from it, but for the trade-off that it lasts like twice as long, if not even just like full-on 20 seconds of that taser being out there. Of course, you'd also have to probably give it an even longer cooldown, but the idea here is you have it as something that you can plant in the ground at the start of a fight, put it in an advantageous position where you're going to be fighting around, and then you have a constant source of health regen during that fight as long as you're fighting enemies in that kind of area. It would be the same sort of idea as carrying around a Moxie gun to supplement your health regen, except a very different style where instead of having to swap to a gun and actually use that gun to get your health back, you can swap to a gun, fire out that taser, and then hug that area to keep your healing up. But as it is right now, at 7 seconds, again, it's a cool idea, but poor execution. That's gonna about do it for this one though. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all that. Down in the description will be a link to my Twitch channel where you can follow to be notified of when I go live, and just below that is a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.